Hi, I'm Kim. I would like to share with you some thoughts about the word resilience as it's used in counselling. Many years ago, I had been to a seminar with Dr. Rob Gordon, a psychologist in Melbourne who worked with communities affected by disasters. And the thing he wanted to let us professionals know is that the communities, the people that he'd been working with, did not like the word resilience being used to describe how they would work together and get through these tragedies. And it really stuck with me how that word can sometimes potentially minimize the suffering that's going on. And so recently, when a supervisee reflecting on the year said that the people she's been working with had a lot of resilience, I said, look, would you mind unpacking that with me? Because I think it's something that when we use the word resilience, we don't really know what we mean. So she talked about how they could bounce back and they seemed to be doing really well and the problems were smaller, etc. So I said, well, okay, are you open to talking about something in the last 2 years that's been some kind of tragedy for you or a really deep problem for you that right now it doesn't seem such a big problem? And she talked about the death of a family member very dear to her, an overseas family member who she hadn't been able to go to the funeral or say goodbye because of COVID. And as she was sitting there, obviously she was talking, the emotions were coming up. And I said, well, what if I said, look, all year you've been doing your work as a counsellor and managing really well with your family and so on. And I'm thinking maybe you're resilient. Maybe you've got this resilience that will see you through this hard time. And that's a good quality to have. What do you think? And she was quite stunned. She said it was actually an offensive thing for me to describe her as resilient. So we unpacked it. It was a brilliant session. She said it was very painful and eye-opening because she'd been through such deep, hurtful grief. And she said that this grief had been very, very hard to express, and that how she expressed it was quietly on her own crying. So this got me thinking about when clients come and see you and they've been through really hard times, they're probably not expressing everything to the depth of their feelings. And maybe it's because it's hard to express deep, unique grief. And so if on the surface it looks like the client's doing really well, I think it's probably, in my thoughts anyway, best not to either use the word resilient or resilience or even think it. I hope this has been helpful.